Solar panels are popping up all over the country, and Florida is certainly no exception. Because, of course, we are the sunshine state, right? The idea of having little to no electric bill, and then, of course, the positive environmental impact are such fantastic highlights, fantastic reasons to have solar panels. But there are a few things that you do need to know before you sign that contract, before you find yourself in a difficult position financially or otherwise. So if solar panels are on your radar, please watch this video. Hi, I'm Jill Thomas, and I am a real estate agent here in the Sarasota, Florida area. So each week I bring videos about what real estate is about here, and then of course what it's like to live in the Sunshine State, what it's like to live in Florida, the realities of that. So if you've been thinking about buying or selling in this market area, then this might be a good channel for you to subscribe to and follow. But most importantly, I want to let you know that I'm here to help you out. If you have specific questions, concerns, thoughts, please reach out to me, use me as a resource. I'm happy to answer your questions so you can make good choices. Now, as you listen to this video, please know, I understand I am certainly not the final authority on solar panels, and I think in months and years ahead, there's going to be more information and things are going to change. My nephew Henry, who lives up in Ohio, spent all last summer in Arizona selling solar panels. He has a real passion for this, and he really cares about the environment. He's concerned about the environment. So before he went, I really peppered him with questions. And then since then, I've learned quite a bit more. I've had good conversations with my go-to inspector and a couple local insurance agents. So I can share with you a full picture on what that might look like. So I'm going to give you the bottom line up front. I'm not going to wait till the end to give you the conclusion. So here's the headline. If you're interested in purchasing solar panels, there's some research you need to do. There's definitely some phone calls you need to make, and maybe even have some other folks out to your house before you do that. And here is why. Number one, homeowners insurance. Okay. So some insurance carriers are happy to give you insurance, give you coverage if you have solar panels. Others will not touch it at all. Now, if you are just wanting to put a few panels on to help heat your pool, that's a little bit less problematic. I would still say call the insurance agent just to confirm. But if you are looking to have panels on the whole house in order to really reduce your electric bill, and then even possibly sell back your electricity to FPL, Florida Power and Light, which is called net metering, then that's where there can be issues. So you definitely need to check with your insurance agent before you have those solar panels installed to make sure that you can get insurance. Now, if you call your current carrier and they kind of blow it off and say, oh, it's not such a big deal, I would certainly recommend that you call another agent just to confirm. I'd rather just for you to be safe than sorry, because there would be nothing worse than spend lots of money putting solar panels on your home. I've heard numbers anywhere from $50,000 to $100,000 to have those installed, and then in a short period of time, you find out that you're not going to be able to get insurance. And what really caught my attention is a month or so ago, I saw an article where up in St. Petersburg, Florida, some people had panels on their house. They were doing the net metering, meaning they were selling their power back to FPL, and their insurance carrier told them that they were going to drop them. So that's a huge thing. I mean, what a shocker, right? Now, in the end, they were able to negotiate with the carrier and just reduce some of the solar panels that were on the house, because that was the insurance company's concern. But don't assume that you're going to be able to negotiate. I think because the situation kind of went public, that maybe that's why the carrier worked with them. I'm not sure. But like, again, I'd rather have you be safe than sorry. So if you are thinking about putting solar panels on your house, first call goes to your insurance company, your insurance carrier. Number two, know the age of your roof. And I would even say know the condition of your roof as well. So when you talk to a solar panel company about either you paying for those solar panels to go on, or even if you're just leasing them, because that's an option as well, you can lease the panels, they might say, well, guess what? If there's any damage to your roof, any leaks, anything like that, because of the solar panels, we will make those repairs. So that sounds great, right? Of course, that gives you some peace of mind. But if you've heard many of my videos, you've heard me beat this drum all the time that insurance companies in the state of Florida are cracking down on the condition of roofs, and just not the condition, but the age of a roof. So if your roof is nearing the end of its life, then it would be really sad if you put these solar panels on and then in a short period of time you had to take them off and put them back on because you need to put a new roof on. So what could happen is an insurance company might just say, hey, listen, your roof is getting older. We want you to get a new wind mitigation report or a new 4-point inspection. And they see that. And if these reports are unfavorable at all, they might require you to replace the roof. So I've heard numbers such as much as $10,000 to have the solar panels taken off so you can replace the roof and then have them put back on. Now that number might not be accurate, but like I said, that's the kind of numbers I'm hearing around town here. So you just definitely need to count the cost. Do not put new solar panels on an older roof. And when I say older, 14, 15 years old, because it could be in 3 years or so where you're going to have to do that. So that would be, I think, pretty difficult. It's just a very expensive thing to do then. So make sure that your roof is in solid shape and it's not terribly old. So again, ask a lot of questions and count the cost before you get those solar panels put on your home. Now, a quick commercial for me. If you are on Facebook or Instagram, I would suggest that you follow me. The links are down below in the description. I put out really great hyper-local information about real estate statistics. Everything's very current there. And then also a lot of local events, activities, happenings. So if you're not quite so familiar with the Sarasota area, it might be a great way for you to become more acclimated to that. And also, if you do live here, sometimes it's good reminders. Local people tell me all the time, oh, I'm so glad you posted that. I forgot about that. That was a great reminder. So I just want to throw that out there to you. Number 3, damage to the roof. So if you think about it, when solar panels are installed, the roof is being damaged. They're drilling holes into the roof in a way that it was not initially designed for. And so when I talked to the inspector, he had story after story of issues and problems that he had seen with solar panels. One house only had the solar panels on for a relatively short period of time, and the solar panel company had to send roofers out 4 separate times to make repairs. Or another time he saw on a roof where they had the barrel tile, and the rest of the roof was sound except for the side where the solar panels were, and the tiles had been shifting and rubbing up against each other and they were starting to crack. So please know that installing those are not benign. Just like skylights. Skylights were really popular back in the 80s. I was at a really neat looking house, it was older 80s, built in the 80s, a house over the weekend, a really neat house. And it was so light and bright. I loved it. There were like 8 skylights in the house, in the roof. And I can only imagine over the years what kind of leaks or issues they've had because of those skylights. So it's the same concept. You are causing damage to the roof. And it was also interesting when I talked to the inspector compared to the insurance agents. The insurance agents saw it a little bit more black and white, like, yep, you can or you can't. There's maybe a few other details with that, but where the inspector sees the outcome of having the solar panels on a roof. So he was a little bit more doom and gloom. The insurance agents were a little bit more optimistic. So please know the reality of it is you are causing damage to the roof by having solar panels installed. Number 4, selling your home. Now, if you're thinking of selling your home and you've got solar panels, that's a really important factor to consider as you move forward with listing the home and marketing it. When you have solar panels installed, there's 3 ways that you could pay for them. Number 1, of course, is pay cash. Number 2 is getting a loan for those solar panels, and there will be a lien against the house. The third way is leasing them. Currently, the value of your home does not go up based on what you paid for those solar panels. Honestly, I'm not really sure what the ratio is. Is it 50%, 10%? I don't know. I need to talk to an appraiser about that to see what kind of value they're putting on those solar panels here locally. But it's certainly not 100%, and I'd actually be surprised if it was even 50%. Again, could be wrong, and if you see this video in 6 months from now, that could change anyhow, even if I knew the number today. So that's just the reality of it. So please don't think that if you spend $70,000 on solar panels, the value of your home goes up $70,000. That's not how this works. Then when you sell, the proceeds from the sale need to be able to cover not just paying off your mortgage, but also the loan for the solar panels, because there is a lien on your home, so that needs to be cleared at closing. Another thing that you need to be prepared to do is to provide to potential buyers the contract that you have with the solar panel company, regardless of how you've paid for them. Because if you're going to say, well, this adds value to the home, they need to see that. They need to see what that agreement is and what the solar panel company is responsible for. And then if you've leased the solar panels, the idea is the buyer takes over the lease unless you were to, maybe there's an out in the lease, but then if they come and remove those solar panels, you've got now holes in the roof that you're going to have to repair. So we'd need to find a buyer who's willing to take over that lease and all of those terms. And then the other thing is, which I didn't think of until I was talking right now, is how does that maybe impact the buyer's ability to get a mortgage, because that's additional debt, just like a car payment or anything else. So if taking over that lease is going to be part of the purchase, then that has to be factored in as well in terms of the buyer's ability to get a loan for your home. So there's a lot going on with that if you are thinking about selling your house. So be prepared to have all that documentation for the buyer to see. And maybe in time, like I said, solar panels may add more value to the home, so that's great. It can change. This isn't like a forever and ever type of thing. Maybe especially too as technology changes and improves, and how they take care of everything, they handle all of it, that evolves. So in time, this could become better for both sellers and buyers. If you plan on living in your home for a long time, your house is solid or the roof is solid, it's not very old, it's in great shape, and you're good with the insurance, then installing solar panels might be an excellent option for you. Again, you need to count the cost, you need to make these calls and figure these things out. And then buyers beware. If you are looking at a home with solar panels, ask for that solar panel contract, ask for the lease agreement, whatever it is. Make sure you really do your homework, do your research, and call those insurance agents as well. This isn't just for homeowners, but potential buyers of homes with solar panels. Okay, buyers and homeowners, as I've been saying, I'm not telling you to not put on solar panels. They can be a really great fit for some people. I'm kind of just putting a gray veil over this because I want you to make really good decisions and do your homework. It's so important. So call, have a solid discussion with that solar panel company, review that contract. Call the insurance agent. Make sure that you can get insurance and that you're not going to be on shaky ground in the near future. And then I would even say, have an inspector, have somebody come out, look at your roof, make sure the roof is solid, make sure that you're going to be good to go. Even if the solar panel company says, no, it's okay, we can help you with things and fix it. Please spend a few $100s extra doing your homework. If you're going to spend tens of thousands of dollars on solar panels, please have those inspections done to make sure that you are good to go, so you're not going to be without insurance or in some sticky predicament down the road. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And like I said, check me out on Facebook and Instagram if you're on there, and I'll see you at the next video. Have a great day. Bye-bye.